Live from New York City, it's the Gary Null Show. And now, your host, Gary Null.
Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Null, here to share the latest on health and healing. And we begin with a study from Appalachian State University. Something as simple as eating almonds every day can boost your exercise recovery by almost 70%. So for all you weekend warriors who get out, and good for you for putting in your 10,000 steps or more, ideally, every day, just a simple handful of almonds, not much, on a daily basis. And that's what they found. Now, mind you, there's a lot on almonds that have other healing properties and good oils in them. But this was a randomized controlled trial in Frontiers Nutrition, peer-reviewed journal, that showed that female and male participants who ate 57 grams, that's about 2 ounces of almonds a day for 1 month, had more of a beneficial element in their blood because of the almonds. That's simple. So better exercise, more energy, better recovery. Take almonds every day. Almonds are easy to find, and the best way I think of getting your almonds is almond butter. They simply pulverize the almonds, making it easier to digest. And that would be about 1 tablespoon of almond butter put into your smoothie or into a hot cereal like cut oatmeal. Be terrific. Next up, the omega-3 fatty acids can prevent childhood asthma. This is according to Copenhagen University Hospital. Taking certain omega-3 fatty acid supplements during pregnancy can reduce the risk of childhood asthma by almost a third, according to this study that was a part of the Copenhagen Prospective Studies on Asthma in Childhood, what was called the COPSAC, and the University of Waterloo also participated. This was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, and they found that women who were prescribed 2.4 grams of the long-chain omega-3 supplements during their 3rd trimester of pregnancy reduced the children's risk of asthma by 31%. And that's good. So just look for the DHA and EPA fatty acids. You can get them from cold water fish, but you can also get them from avocados and walnuts and hemp. So there's a lot of ways of getting it, but they're really good for your heart. They help regulate heart rhythms. So if you have AFib, it's good, but it's also good for keeping your arteries healthy as well. Now we find out it's good for children, prevents asthma. And 1/3. Another study from University of Colorado at Boulder shows that gardening, yes, just simple gardening, can help reduce your cancer risks and boost your mental health. The first ever randomized controlled trial of community gardening found that those who started gardening ate more fiber and got more physical activity, and 2 known ways to reduce the risk of cancer and chronic diseases. They also saw their levels of stress and anxiety significantly decrease. The findings were published in The Lancet Planetary Health, and that's important. I'm sure that many of you at some point in your life have grown something, flowers, herbs, vegetables, fruits, or all the above. Well, you know how you felt. One argument from the existentialists is, why spend all that time and energy and cost growing some tomatoes where you can go just down to the store and buy some tomatoes? Yeah, they're right. It will cost more in time and effort than if you just bought them. But then again, have you ever bought tomatoes that taste as good as the ones you grow? Because you can let them grow until they're fully ripe. And the longer they're on the vine, that's true for any fruit. I was just out in my garden here. I have about 47 different types of fruit trees, and I've been nurturing them. I cut them back every year, meaning I cut them down to where they're about 8 foot high, so the energy goes into the fruit, not into the height of the tree. The taller the tree, the smaller and less fruit you're going to get. Most people don't understand that. Also fertilizing them every 3 months and raking out all the debris underneath the tree. That's where a lot of insects and worms and larvae goes into the root system, and that can destroy the tree, create a blight. And also I can spray the tree once a year with a copper and sulfur, and it destroys all the blights, doesn't affect the tree. But what better way than to go out and just feel a fruit, a peach, a nectarine, an avocado. And you think, okay, it's really heavy. And that means it has its natural sugars maturing on the vine. It has the best smell, has the best taste. And yet most of the food that we eat is harvested prior to, certainly with fruit, prior to them being fully ripe. So then they try to stimulate that ripeness with chemicals, spraying them. And it never tastes the same. Tomatoes taste like cardboard, and they don't have that wonderful orbs bursting in your mouth sensation that a one you grow does. So try growing fruits and vegetables. And to help you out, in another month, I'm going to be filming each day a garden that I've built. And I'm showing you how to build your own in your own backyard, on your roof, even in a basement or a separate room if you have the space. So you can do urban gardening and you can do suburban gardening, but there's just a great deal of joy in knowing you're sitting down to a salad, for example, the other day, with 14 different types of sprouts, 6 types of microgreens, and 3 different types of lettuce, all that you grew. Huge salad bowl. In fact, it was so large, I made 3 different salad dressings, which I then sprayed and then folded it in. When you spray a salad dressing on a salad, it doesn't get wet. It doesn't get soggy. You don't have a bunch of the juice at the bottom of the bowl. And then you stir it, and that allows the fragrance to go on all the different parts of it. So I had 3 different types. You could do the same. In fact, one day a week, you just make all your salad dressings and then just keep them refrigerated. Each day, then, if you want something on your brown rice, you just spray it on the brown rice. So it's simple. But the actual act of gardening can de-stress you, allows you to be present and mindful what you're doing. And that's what this shows. So only 3 studies have applied the gold standards of scientific research, the randomized controlled trial, to gardening. None have looked specifically at community gardening. To fill the gap, they recruited 291 non-gardening adults, average age 41, from the Denver area. More than a third were Hispanic, and more than half came from low-income households. The gardening group received a free community gardening plot, some seeds and seedlings, and an introductory gardening course through the nonprofit Denver Urban Gardening Program and a study partner. By fall, those in the gardening group were eating on average 1.4 grams more fiber per day than the control group, and an increase of about 7%. The authors note that fiber exerts a profound effect on inflammatory and immune responses. It influences everything from how we metabolize food to how healthy our gut microbiome is to how susceptible we are to diabetes and certain cancers. And so that's important. The average doctor might tell you 25 grams of fiber a day is fine. Well, I don't believe that's true. I believe it should be around 40 grams of fiber a day. But the average adult consumes less than 16. So that's why they're more susceptible to pressure diseases like hemorrhoids, and also the itises, ileitis, colitis, spastic colon, diverticulitis. The more healthy plant-based fiber that you have, the healthier digestion, elimination, absorption, and utilization. From Joslin Diabetes Center, researchers shed light on how exercise preserves physical fitness during aging. Proven to protect against a wide array of diseases, exercise may be the most powerful anti-aging intervention known to science. However, while physical activity can improve health during aging, its beneficial effects inevitably decline. The cellular mechanisms underlying the relationship among exercise, fitness, and aging are not always fully understood. In a paper published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, researchers at Joslin Diabetic Center investigated the role of one cellular mechanism in improving physical fitness by exercise training and identified one anti-aging intervention that delayed the decline that occurs with aging in the model organism. Together, the scientific findings were published in a peer-reviewed journal, and it shows that you want to promote muscle function, and you can do that. But you've got to do some resistance exercises, lift some weights. Yesterday, I did a 10-hour and 20-minute conference nonstop. But in between, when we were playing the guests, I would sit beside my desk here, and I would do weights, 20 pounds in each hand, curling them 40 times. That was affecting my whole body. And then just doing deep knee bends and quarter squats, half squats, full squats. So you shouldn't be sitting for long periods of time, but you can therefore sit and do something productive, but at the same time, exercise your body. And that is important because that impacts your overall health. So they determined in the study that a single exercise session induces a cycle of fatigue and physical fitness recovery that is paralleled by a cycle of mitochondrial network rebuilding. And in lay language, just keep exercising every day. Power walking, biking, stationary biking in high gear, meaning lots of resistance. All of this impacts your mitochondrial morphology and metabolism. That allows you to live a longer life. And finally, from Brigham and Women's Hospital, nighttime electric devices are not good. They lower the melatonin levels. This was in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. This was research done at Brigham Women's Hospital. And what it shows is simple, that when you have a laptop, a cell phone, one of the digital watches or clocks within your room, all of those electronic devices emit light that is short wavelength enriched light, which has a higher concentration of blue light with a peak around 450 nms than natural light. And that is not good because your body perceives this and it can interrupt your circadian rhythms. So in this randomized study, they had people who had no light versus those that had these background lights. They took blood samples during portions of the study. They analyzed the melatonin levels. Sleep latency, time, and efficiency were assessed. And what they found was that when you have any kind of electronic device, you can have as much as a 55.1% suppression of melatonin. Now, you need melatonin. It's a critical part of your immune system. And that's what you get really secreted a lot when you're in deep rapid eye movement. And that's why, want a couple of hints? Well, why don't you take 5 milligrams of melatonin about an hour before you go to bed? But also don't drink or eat anything within 3 hours going to bed. And then one of the things to take is magnesium. That helps your body relax. Theanine helps calm you down. And then writing out on a simple sheet of paper all of the priorities in your life, the things that concern you, the things you want to get done, and you write them down in order of importance. And you put that beside your bed and you read it out loud. Tomorrow I'm going to work on this. I'm going to unclutter the garage there. I'm going to pay my bills. Whatever's important to you, you write down a piece of paper. The mind then feels relaxed because you're not stressing yourself over what you will do because you just said what you're going to do. And saying it, writing it down, affirms it, and therefore you're no longer that stressed. You can hit the pillow and boom, you're asleep. All right. So just something to pay attention to. I'll give you one last statement. This is from Penn State University. This was published in the Journal of the American Medical Association. It says iron deficiency anemia is associated with hearing loss. Now, you can have a wide variety of vegetables, spinach, kale, collard greens, watercress. They're all good. Prunes, lots of things are good in iron. But the iron you get from meat is very destructive to the heart. So don't get the iron from meat or animal proteins, get it from vegetables. Or just make sure you're getting the iron in a multivitamin every day. You don't need a lot, so you don't suffer from iron deficiency anemia. Therefore, you don't exacerbate hearing because it has all forms of mechanisms in the body that impacts. That's the latest on health and healing. And remember, every Monday, 6 a.m., you're going to get your free newsletter, the Gary Null newsletter, where I summarize the best health information of the week. All of it's cited, all of it's in peer-reviewed literature, and then try what you believe is important for you. Now, if you want the newsletter that comes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, small charge on that, but that gives you a whole lot more information on a lot of different topics, including recipes, investigative reports, commentaries, etc. In either case, we just want to keep you informed. All right? And go to GaryNull.com because there's lots of articles, lots of film clips, lots of calls to action you wouldn't otherwise know about. We're going to take a break and be right back. Please stay with us.
Are you tired of closed-minded programming? Well, look no further than PRN.Live, the home for progressive voices.